Am I the asshole for telling my mom's partner to call me before he stops by unannounced? Hi Reddit, I need some clarity. My parents separated 5 years ago, both are now living with their partners. Issue here is my mom's partner. Let's call him John, M62. F29, work freelance so I'm always at home while my partner, M27, works office hours at a lab. We are particularly under pressure these days as we are looking for a new house together in Paris, France, which is frustrating and time-consuming. Today, John was taking my grandma to run errands nearby my house, and decided to come over. I was busy between arranging meetings and house viewings and tidying up my house when they rung the intercom of my building. I was so puzzled it was them that I didn't say anything and let them in. John tried joking around. We saw the windows open so we figured you were home even though you were not answering your phone. I told him I was busy. I had agency to call and made it clear they were disturbing me. John said they weren't staying that long anyways, which is true, they left after 30 minutes or so. I was fuming. I decided to text him the following message after they left. Hey John, it's nice of you to stop by. Please refrain from doing so without my confirmation through a prior phone call. I am very busy and even though you weren't staying long you disturbed my pace and schedule. Take care bye. He hasn't responded. I spoke to my mom later on that day and she said my message was too harsh and I should have called him to tell him directly in a playful way. Am I the asshole for sending this text? Edit. A few commenters are rightfully asking for more info so I'll try my best to provide. I saw John and my mom on Saturday night. We played board games at their hour. They live 8 Moline Drive from our place. I was at their house again yesterday, Sunday, for lunch, and my grandmother was there too. I picked her up with my car and drove her back afterwards, and I ended up staying with her for dinner. So today was the second day in a row I was seeing my grandma, and the third in a row for John. So it's not like I hadn't seen them in a while or anything. For context, my grandfather passed away almost 2 months ago, hence why we are helping my grandma out. She lives 10 minutes drive from me but she can't drive. Also for context, John was one of my dad's former best friends. My mom had an affair with him, leading to my parents' divorce. I have known John since I was a child because my parents were friends with him and his late wife. It was the first time he dropped by unannounced at my place, but he also did it with my sister who just had her first baby, first grandson in the family. I'm not sure if she told him off. He has a tendency of forcing the relationships like he calls himself the grandpa of my nephew, which irks me a bit but my personal opinion is not relevant in that matter. Someone asked if my grandma could have been the instigator of the visit, and if I would have been rude to her like this as well. She might have been. I tried to reach her afterwards but she wasn't responding, but since we were together yesterday from 12 to 9 p.m., including 4 hours just the two of us, I doubt it. Plus John said he was the one who suggested coming over to get coffee at my place. Would I be rude to her in the same way? Probably not, because she always calls before coming over so it probably wouldn't be necessary. Thank you everyone for the comments so far. I'll try to respond to each of you. Not the asshole. This isn't the 80s. We don't answer the door to family at all hours anymore. People are starting to really up their boundaries and that's a good thing. John is 62. He doesn't need to be talked to in a playful way. And if your text is verbatim, it's not harsh. It's polite and firm. Not the asshole. Personal boundaries are extremely important. If Johnny Boy can't understand that after 62 years on this planet, then that's his problem, not yours. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You were working and were polite to take time out of your workday to sit with them. Though really they didn't leave you a choice. What were you supposed to do? Throw your grandma out? He put you in a shit situation that if had happened to him 30 years ago while on the clock would have earned you a firm, fuck off. Not the asshole. It's not up to us women to tiptoe and dance around being direct with our feelings. We do not need to be playful when telling someone we don't like something or don't want something to happen. You didn't call him names, and you weren't rude. You simply told him to ask before coming over, which is entirely reasonable. Am I the asshole for telling Mill that I won't tell her when I give birth to my son? Hello. I, 30 female, and my fiancé, 29 male, have been together for 10 years, and have been trying to conceive for over 6 years. We are finally pregnant and could not be more happier. However, I've noticed that my Mill is a little finger friendly and posts a lot on her social media pages. The first happened when we actually made the pregnancy announcement to our family and close friends. We announced pretty early because we were so excited. and I found out my Mill had made a post about being a nan again and how excited she is. Me and my fiancé hadn't even been able to make the announcement ourselves yet, as we wanted to wait till our 12-week scan before posting anything. I didn't say much because she was probably just very excited, and I focused on working on being as healthy as I can for the baby. The second happened at our gender reveal. We had been planning for weeks, and found out the gender of our baby. It was such a pleasant day and a lot of crying. Lots of pictures were taken, and it was just close friends and family. The day came to a sudden stop when I had a notification that I had been tagged in a post from Mill letting everyone know the gender of our baby. I have to admit this angered me. I was hoping that me and my fiancé could make that announcement ourselves first. But it wasn't even the end of the day and I was receiving congrats message from random people. I expressed my concern to my fiancé, and he said he'd talk to her. We're now 30 weeks into the pregnancy and decided to get a 4D scan to see our precious baby, and sent the photos to close family before we put any posts up, and she again made the post before me or my fiancé could. We've now had to sit her down and tell her that she has stole these moments from us by making these announcements first. This is our first baby and it's those moments we can never have returned to us. I have made a warning that if this continues where announcements are being made before we have made them, then I will not tell her when her grandchild arrives, and that she can find out through social media. She's now become very upset and said that we are overreacting. Am I the asshole in this situation? Edit. It's my first time posting on Reddit, so I admit some information has been missed. I apologize. Firstly, I have family that live abroad, that I would have loved to have made these kinds of announcements too before Mill made the announcements public herself. The second time she made the announcement at the gender reveal party, we expressed she shouldn't have done that and that any pregnancy-related announcements we would like to make ourselves in our own time and on our own terms. Significant other did express to Mill as well multiple times about our feelings on the matter. I should also mention that when we shared photos from scans we asked everyone not to share until we had managed to share them ourselves. She justified sharing these as, "I didn't tag you so it doesn't count" kind of attitude towards us, being upset about the announcement being made before us again. I would also like to express that I did think there was a line with Mill's oversharing. She has other grandchildren from her eldest daughter, and she never made these announcements before her daughter did. Not the asshole. 4D scan to see our precious baby, and sent the photos to close family before we put any posts up. Knowing what you know about your Mill, why would you not post first then send photos? She lost the right to her access when she flagrantly went against your wishes, not once, but 3 times. Misbehave, and suffer the consequences. Doesn't matter how old you are. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but I gotta ask. Have you guys talked to her about this at any point before this point? Because yes, I'm playing devil's advocate, I can kinda see why she thinks you're overreacting if you didn't sit her down beforehand. In her mind it's if it's such a big deal, why not tell me sooner? Not the asshole. She's making all your moments about her because of social media. I highly encourage cross-posting this to r. Just know Mil at here are so many unfortunate people with Mills who have done the same thing. It may be cathartic for you. Not the asshole. This is your child and you Mill has stolen all these special moments from you and your partner. That sucks. Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't give her another chance. If she wants to find out when baby is born, she can find out when you are the first person to post about it on social media. Am I the asshole for finally confronting my parents over how they let my dad guilt us about his childhood? My 26F father grew up in poverty. His father skipped out and his mother worked a lot to provide, but with 5 kids, things were tight. I have a lot of empathy for his family and always admired my grandmother for all she did, along with my great-grandmother who provided free childcare and would clean the house for her. I know they did not have it easy. My dad along with his siblings managed to pull themselves out of poverty. 2 of my uncles became well off, while the rest of the family are comfortable, middle class. I have always been grateful for the sacrifices this family has made and have told my dad more than once how proud I am for all he's overcome. My father always had to make the point of how lucky me and my sisters were to have what we did. He doesn't say these things in a nostalgic, sad way. It's in a nasty, "you're lucky you get this because I don't have to give it to you," kind of way. Even though we always showed gratitude. If we were ever having a bad day or disagreed with our parents over something, my dad would tell us how good we have it and he could make things worse for us, and make us live how he did growing up. My mom and us have tried to make that up to him, giving him birthday parties, things he wanted as a kid, etc. Still, every holiday and birthday, he made us feel like shit for having parties and gifts because he never did until he married my mom. It always left us feeling like we didn't deserve any of it and that we couldn't ever have a rough time or be upset with him, because he was giving us what he didn't. I have struggled with depression and anxiety since my teens, something I hid from my parents for a very long time, because of how my dad is. I'm in therapy. I am still learning how to feel I actually deserve good things in my life and it's okay to feel things other than happiness. It's not my job to make my father feel better about his childhood. Recently, my youngest sister and some of our cousins graduated, either from high school or college. My mom and aunts were planning a big family party to celebrate. My dad was on his kick over how spoiled my sister is. He never got a party for graduating. It got to the point where my sister was feeling really bad and said she didn't need a party. My dad said no, it was fine, she just better remember how lucky she is. I told my dad none of this was necessary, just let her enjoy something for once in her life. He started on how he never had it and I said, your crap childhood is not our problem. Get some therapy or stop taking it out on the rest of us. He started on me about being disrespectful and I just went back to my place. My mom says I wasn't wrong but I should have stayed out of it and not said it to him, because he's not going to listen anyway. I then pissed her off by saying she's right, she should have stood up for her own kid and called her a coward. Now, both of them are pissed at me and my sisters worry I've only made things worse. Though they're grateful I said it, am I the asshole? My vote is not the asshole for either. Your dad does need therapy, and your mom enabled his behavior all these years. She should have protected you better from dad's emotional abuse, because that's what it was. Your dad does need therapy though. Not the asshole. Good for you for pushing back, finally. Unfortunately at your dad's age, considering he's clung to and gotten massive mileage, gifts, treats, extras, etc. from his victimhood all his married life, it's highly unlikely he'd be willing to give up his bitterness. Now or ever. You had every right to call him out, but don't expect him to change his attitudes or behavior. Not the asshole, op. Your dad is using his childhood trauma to control all of you. I'd recommend looking up covert narcissism, or vulnerable narcissism. It's a helluva drug. There's no winning with that. If the big party happens, be ready to grab sis and the cousins and head to the after party, ASAP. Because I suspect dad won't be able to not make this party at least a little bit about him. Not the asshole. These things needed to be said. Dad doesn't get a free pass to emotionally abuse his kids because he didn't have things as a child. What he did have was a supportive mom and grandma, which you kids lack. Am I the asshole for getting pissed when my husband asked me to wear a bra? My husband and I have been together for 7 years, married just recently. We generally have great communication, but this is one topic we just cannot agree on. I am on a trip to our hometown and am staying in a friend's house while he is out of town. I mentioned that another male mutual friend, B, would also be staying over at the same time. B is married and good friends with both of us. Husband messaged me and asked me to please wear a bra around the house since I'm not staying with him but staying alone with B instead. For context, I am a 3/4DD and they are a little bit saggy so they do jiggle, as he puts it. We live in a slightly conservative place but women with smaller boobs go around braless all the time and don't attract attention. I have gone around braless before when running errands, and he expressed that he feels uncomfortable because he can see other men staring. I still go around braless though. I also have on occasion not worn a bra in my own house when we had mutual friends over, but typically in my day-to-day life I do wear a bra and dress pretty conservatively. He likened it to him going around shirtless and that I would not like it if other women are constantly staring at him over it either. Not that he ever did it, but I don't think I would really care. I just think it's a waste of effort to put on a bra when I am wearing an oversized shirt, look like a hobo anyways and it's uncomfortable. He said that he didn't mean anything by the comment and just wanted to express how he felt about the situation, since it was the first time I was staying at a friend's place with another male mutual friend, and since I have not worn a bra around mutual friends in the past. He also said that if a mutual female friend was staying in our house and she had big boobs and walked around without a bra he would feel uncomfortable. I on the other hand was planning to wear a bra anyways, since I'm a guest. Still his comment rubbed me the wrong way and I started getting progressively angrier. I was quite passive-aggressive and said I would just get my boobs reduced if it was such an issue. I also said that I generally don't dress appropriately and have good social boundaries otherwise. Honestly, I felt that it should not even be an issue and that he should not even have had to make the comment in the first place, and that he was projecting his discomfort on me. That even if I did not want to wear a bra in the house with our mutual friend, it should still not be an issue. On the other hand, his feelings are feelings and he is valid to make the ask. It then turned into an hour-long conversation about women's rights and body policing. However, I still could not get him to see my side. I'm not even really sure why I'm so upset, but I just am. We love each other and we really just want to get on a same page about this topic, so asking Reddit whether I was the asshole in this scenario. Not the asshole. Your husband needs to work on managing his feelings, but instead he's policing you and trying to limit your bodily autonomy. This is the third story in the last month that I've read, listened to of men projecting their insecurities onto their partners about what they wear, and it's frankly frustrating. Women aren't responsible for your insecurities and other men looking at us. Edit. Misspelling. Not the asshole. Free the tautush. Not the asshole. Tell him you'll wear a bra around company if he does. Not the asshole. If he's worried about his friends sexualizing you, then maybe he should choose better friends so that he does not have to worry about them being creepy towards his wife.